welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? It's Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles. Thank you for joining me yet again on another Sunday glorious afternoon. I got to tell you, on the East Coast, it is absolutely beautiful out right now. It is about 60 degrees, sunny, a picture perfect day. So thank you for joining me, whoever's in the chat. Trust me, whoever shows up today is going to have a surprise of a lifetime, because you're going to get something possibly, if you hang out all day with me, something great. So make sure if you're in the chat, I'll repeat myself a couple of times. Stay here because something's about to happen. All right. But I don't want to go too much into detail right now. It's like I said, it's a Sunday afternoon and I have a ton of stuff here right next to me that I'm going to unbox. Now, normally what I do, guys, is I'll do an unboxing video and I'll go through some stuff, but I figured, we're live. It's Sunday afternoon. Why not come on here and just unbox everything together, right? Normally my unboxing videos don't do too great anyway. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do something fun today. So for part of today's video, I have, I have 5 boxes here next to me that we're going to unbox together. So some of it's CGC unboxings that are stuff that's coming back. Some comic books that I purchased. One other thing that I purchased as well. I might as well just open in front of you guys. But anyway, thank you for joining me here on the channel today. So we're going to say hello to a couple of people that are in the chat right now. Brandon Metro, what's going on? He says, snag the entire Wizard run on Saturday for $200. Personally, I love the covers and pull-out posters are nice. I'm thinking long-term hold also. Listen, I love the Wizard magazines. It's a great throwback to my childhood. I'm sure yours as well. I actually love it. Some people, and I'll say this right now, is that I've been getting a lot of comments on videos that I've done when I do the Hot 10 saying that, why am I dogging on these books? Some of these books are great. And 100%. The Hot 10 breakdown is not me saying, these books are crap. The Hot 10 breakdown is telling you guys if I'm buying these books at the prices that they're at right now. So 9 times out of 10, I want to own the books that are on the Hot 10 breakdown. However, some of the prices that they're going for, some of these modern keys especially, there's no way in hell I'm paying the prices, okay? Sometimes I will throw one in here that I say, hell yeah, it's worth it for that book. But you got to understand, what's worth spending the money on and actually hating a book are two different things. So I don't ever hate on books. I know I throw a lot of shade at Omega Men #3, but when that book first came on the list, what did I say? I said I was a buyer between $300 and $350. So yes, if that book between $300 and $350, I actually think around $300 now, because it's been sold to death right now, exchanged through a lot of people's hands. Doesn't mean I hate the books. It means the price I don't like. I always say, like, and this I think is going to be the next t-shirt, guys. I don't hate the book. I hate the price. Okay. That's the next one. So keep that in your head. So thank you, Brandon. I think it's a great pickup. $200 for the entire run. I don't think you can go wrong. Rohan, what's up, buddy? How you doing, bud? Thanks for joining me here today. Danny, how you doing, bud? Enjoy your Sunday afternoon out there in Florida. Same on the West Coast. Thank you for joining me. It's got to be early there. Rohan's early there too. What is it? It's 9:30 over there. Thank you for joining me today. Trust me, if you stick around the whole day, somebody's going to get something that I don't want to give it away. I'll reveal it in like 10 minutes of what I plan on doing. So if you stick with me today, something good is coming to somebody in the chat. I agree with you, man. I look forward to the Wizard every month. The problem is right now is speculation. I think by the time they get out, it takes a long time to print the magazine. By the time you get out and print the thing and put all the information into the magazine, all that stuff has passed, right? Everything out there. Maybe they could do an online version. Like, like there's that Hot 10 key collector list. There's a Go Collect list. Maybe you have a Wizard list. I know Wizard was brought back by somebody. Somebody owns Wizard now. I don't remember who that was, but either way, somebody should do an online list. Absolutely. There you go. So they're running around and goofing off. To be young again, man. To be young again. Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm here for a huge unboxing. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody on the chat that once we hit, hey, let me go full screen here. Once we get to 5,000 subs, we're giving this Iron Man 1 away. Don't forget, I think we're 4265 right now, so we got a little bit to go. But hey, the last 300 went really quick, so I'm hoping the next 700 go really quick as well. But an Iron Man 1 coming to the 5,000 sub giveaway. So just want to give you a couple things before I get into the unboxing about, you know, what's going on this week on the channel. Like I always like to keep you guys abreast. So first things first, I was at King Con yesterday, okay? King Con was a massive success. Yes, it's still going on right now as we're doing this thing. I only went for the Saturday, even though I did have a VIP pass. Really great seeing everybody out there. And actually, I'm actually editing the video right now. So it's going to be come out this week. Make sure you look for this video because it's a doozy. A lot of great books, a lot of great people. Make sure you check it out, okay? The other video, of course, coming out Monday is another eBay sales video, but I didn't actually download the thumbnail, so I must have left that off of here. So my apologies. Actually, is it? No, that is it. Hold on. I apologize. That is it. The next eBay sales video. No, I apologize. I did leave it off here. That's the following week's eBay sales video. So eBay sales video coming at you tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. Be on the lookout for that. There's some great books on that list. So all right, we're going to get into unboxing some of this stuff today. So I'm going to do a quick one on the first one because it is, I know whenever I get toys, you guys don't always, watch the videos, but I have a quick one toy I'm going to open for you guys right now because we are Mighty Comics and Collectibles. It's not just comics here at the channel. We do statues, we do toys, of course, and we do comics. Anything collectible, really. Cards sometimes. You guys know I like Garbage Book Kids. All right, there's a quick one, I promise, though. You guys know I am a huge Masters of the Universe fan, and I was able to pick up Tongue last year, finally. Big Pad Toy Store had this thing pre-ordered. Literally, they were so late to the party with the pre-order, but they got it to me literally within a week. I pre-ordered it. It actually came to my house. So I've been holding off unboxing this for you guys. Figured I'd do it today on the channel. Tongue last year, finally, one of the original OG Masters of the Universe Snake Men. Finally happy to have that bad boy here. All right, how long have we been in here? In another 3 minutes, I'm going to announce something for everybody in the chat today, okay? But the key is you have to stay to the end of the video in order to find out what this thing is. So let's unbox one more thing, and then I'll tell you what it is. So again, I have a comic that I purchased. I think this was one off of Elite Comics 11 when they had their AtCon. Finally showed up. Forgot the name of the seller, unfortunately, but he had some great books for good prices. You guys know my motto is I don't buy like books unless I can get a deal on them right now. I think while right now is a great time to buy if you're holding for 10 to 20 years, and I'm holding to that. If you don't have a book that you want and you can go out and get right now, go out and buy it, because if you plan on holding, you're definitely going to do well. I mean, that doesn't mean comics still can't go down more, because they can. But again, if you're a holder for 10 to 20 years, who cares? You don't care if it goes down another 100, 200 bucks. And if it's a big book, maybe $1,000, it's not the end of the world, because you're going to hold that long period of time. Again, if you plan on selling something within the next year, 2 years, possibly even 5 years, maybe now is not the time you want to do it. But again, if you're a holder, definitely. So now you know I hate unboxing shit on YouTube, because everything takes forever to get open. So there we go. So as you can see, it's a couple of raw books that I got. You guys know whenever I find keys and they're good price, I try to snatch them, because whether they stay in the collection or not, I could always flip them. I could keep them. I could do whatever. If you have disposable income, and I'm not saying you should be doing this all the time, but if you have a little cash set on the side for some comics and you say, wow, that's a really good deal, go ahead and pick it up. So the first one, I'll take off the sticker. It is a copy of Conan the Barbarian #1. So this book they had graded at a 3.5, and they paid $135 for this book. So awesome copy of Conan the Barbarian #1. So again, another illustration. I know this book not too long ago, I did like a video or something along these lines where I mentioned Conan 1 as being a book I really want to pick up right now in the grade that it was mentioned. But for $135 for a mid-grade copy, slightly under, totally worth it, right? It all depends on the price that you can get the book for. So again, keep that in mind. Conan 1. This one I think eventually is going to be for sale. If you guys haven't noticed and you're not following me on Instagram, I just posted a slew of Amazing Spider-Man, some bigger keys for sale, and it will have more on the way as well. So that's the first unboxing. Well, no, I'm sorry. There's one more book here in this package. So I got 2 books from the seller from Elite Comics 11. Again, I apologize for not remembering his name, but y'all remember when this book was hot? Y'all remember when this book, people were going nuts, trying to go crazy for this book? Well, I just picked up Tales of Suspense, and I apologize, forgot the number. 50, the first appearance of the Mandarin, graded at a 4.5 for $150. Okay. So whenever I do these hot 10 breakdowns and I tell you, stay the hell away from some of these books, off the top of my head, I don't remember what this book was going for at that time, but $150 for a mid-grade copy is an all day long for a big character. Yes, I know the MCU has already used this character. May show up again, may not. I don't care. It's a minor key, a big villain for Tony Stark and a few others. Shang-Chi, obviously, they had him in. But for $150, $135 for the Conan, that's when you pounce on books, not when they're at their height, not when they're at their peak, and not when there's major spec going around. So that is the first unboxing of the day. So let's catch up on the chat, and then I'm going to tell you the bit of news that I have for you guys. So Kenneth Bird, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for joining. You're always on the chat, and I really appreciate. Ambient Rain, that's a new one. How you doing, bud? Ray Guevara. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Ray, how you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you on the chat in a bit. Nothing. Great name. Great name. I wish I would have kept my He-Man stuff. Mom said keep them when I was a teen. They'd be worth money because they were expensive back then, but my dumbass threw them in the garbage. So I'll give you a story. I actually end up selling mine at a garage sale that we had when I was a kid, and I'm super pissed off because you know what, like a complete He-Man with all this stuff goes right now, even loose, not in the packaging, you're probably talking about $60 just for a loose figure, which is a lot of money. Sealed and 8-back He-Man, for anybody out there who knows what I'm talking about, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So there was an 8-back, was the first issue release. The second release was a 12-back, for anybody who doesn't know. That's probably a little bit cheaper, but still probably in the thousands of dollars range. Vinny Wheatlock, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining me today. And ending soonest, a ripping deal. Absolutely right. Like I said, if you could find books for great prices, that's when you pounce, especially keys. There's no reason to pay up when the books are hot. There's especially Silver Age, Bronze Age 2, Copper, Modern. There's a ton of these books out there, so don't be afraid to wait. I know FOMO gets the better of us sometimes, but it is what it is. So one more before I tell you what the news. Nowhere Bound. Hello. Came in on the TOS 50. Nice pickup. Yeah, man. It was a steal. All right. So here's the deal. We have, as of right now, and I'll repeat this a few times as we get into the later on in the show, there's 18 people in the chat. So what I want you guys to do is tell everyone you know to jump on the stream for the next hour or so. Why? Why must we say? Because guess what? That mother jumper never claimed his Thanos giveaway. Okay. And I told you on the last stream, and he even saw that I commented on one of his posts saying, hey, you won this thing. Give me a buzz through my email. He says, wow, I won it. I said, yeah, all you have to do is contact me through the email on my description of every video. And he didn't do it. So somebody in this chat today, later today, is going to win this Thanos giveaway. I'm not holding on to this thing anymore. That's it. Somebody today in the chat is getting this mother jumper. Okay. All you have to do is hang on to the end of the chat, the end of the video today, and I'm going to run a poll. Who's here? And we're going to decide who the winner is today. So whoever's here later on, when I give this thing away, you have a chance to win this thing. So stick around for the next hour or so. Okay. Thanos giveaway to everybody here in the chat. It's happening today. So isn't that crazy that I did 2 giveaways for this thing and still nobody has claimed this mother? Crazy, man. Crazy. Someone better claim this Iron Man 1 when we get there, because I'm going to be annoyed if they don't do it. But like I said, hang around today because a lot of great stuff given that Thanos statue. So make sure you're in the chat. Tell everybody you know, hey, dude, he's giving the Thanos statue away on this live stream. Check it out. Come hang with us because that's what's going to happen. All right. Back to what's going on, right? And again, you guys know that anytime we do a live stream, I'm always taking questions. So as I'm unboxing, as I'm going through this stuff, please throw your questions out there. I will go through the chat and I will answer everything that I possibly can. So a couple other things before I unbox anything else. Another slogan, another couple of slogans. Friends don't let friends overpay for second appearances. Hence what we're talking about. There's a first appearance. I didn't overpay for it. Here's a first appearance. I don't overpay for it. not a first appearance, but I didn't overpay for it. It's important that we talk about this stuff, okay? Because that's how we get everybody out there in the community kind of to stay in the hobby. And the last one I'll show you guys is this. Show Me the Money book. The 3 books I just showed you guys, they're money books. Why? Because they're first appearances. They're first in a solo title. It's an origin story. So we want to stick to the big books if we can. Okay. That's where the money is made. And it doesn't have to be about money. I know we talk a lot of stuff about money on the channel, but it's not all to do with that. If you love something, go ahead and buy it. Just please don't overspend, right? Keep your money intact and save it for the bigger books you want in your collection or for anything else in life you might want. So, all right, I'm done preaching. We're back to the unboxings. Okay. All right. So I believe that this is from CGC. And I think I have 3 unboxings from CGC today. So that's what we're doing. A bunch of books came back in the mail. If you guys don't remember, I sent in a bunch of books to be graded. I sent in some books to be reslabbed. So we're going to open them today on the channel and, see how I did. There's a few where I know the grades. There's a few that I don't. So let's see what each one is. They've been sitting here for like a couple of weeks now. I've been waiting to unbox, figure out what I was doing. But here we go. We're going to do this together. All right. Receipt. Looks like CGC did a good job. All right. So this is actually the one that I didn't know what the grades were. Okay. So I have 2 in this submission. It was an Amazing Spider-Man number 129 that I predicted would come back a 6.0. Okay. I wasn't sure. The front, it looks like an 8.0, but I wasn't sure how they're going to grade this book because there is some damage to the back, which I'll show you as well right now. But I was spot on. It came back in Amazing Spider-Man 129 at a 6.0 grade, off white to white pages with the nice Spidey label. And again, you could see this book. It looks like a super high grade copy of this book. And that's why I bought it, because it's extremely presentable. But I'll show you in the back. When we get to the back, you can see on the top right here is where the damage is done, along the top as well. A couple of nicks right there and right there. Other than that, little stain right there, which killed it. If those things didn't occur on this book, man, it would have been a super high grade copy. But there's also a little bit of looks like a pull, which I doubt you guys are going to see it here, but there's a little bit of a pull right there. But it's, like I said, it's hardly noticeable. 6.0 Amazing Spider-Man number 129. It's my only copy right now. This one actually still may be for sale. So if you haven't checked out my Instagram, mightycomics_collectibles. I posted some books yesterday for sale. 3 have already been gone. Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man. A couple of big keys like Tales of Suspense 39, which may or may not sell because I just threw it up there. If it doesn't sell, I'm happy to hang on to forever for that book. And an X-Men number 1. Same goes for that one. I may hang on to that one, but we'll see if somebody makes me an offer, a good offer. And the other book in the submission, I sent this book in. I knew it was high grade. I bought it at a 9.4, 9.6. They had it graded at. It was raw. I said, I bet you with a press that might be able to get a 9.6 or a 9.8. I couldn't find anything wrong with this book. Okay. Nothing, not a goddamn thing. And once I pressed it, I thought it looked absolutely fantastic. So what do you think it came back at? ASM 316 in a nice 9.8 with the Venom label to boot. This thing is effing gorgeous. I knew when I saw this book that I got this book from Zap Comics, and they're always, if they're one of the best LCSs around, my favorite LCS out there. 9.8 white with the Venom label. This book is perfect. And I knew with a press that it was going to come back a beautiful grade. And I knew it was a 9.8. Just awesome. So CGC, thank you. You did a great job. Back is perfect as well. So this one may be for sale eventually. Okay, guys. So keep your eye out. I haven't decided what I want to do with this book. Because it's a 9.8, I may hang on to it, but I have some other bigger stuff coming. So I kind of really need to, replenish my reserves, as I say. So we'll see if I put that one up, but keep your eyes posted to my Instagram, my website, mightycollects.com. Let's catch up on the chat. Kenneth asked, do you buy an Amazon for comic books? Yes or no? But I do. I do not. Honestly, when I buy like toys off Amazon, like the shipping is not the greatest. Now, I've never bought comics through Amazon, so I don't know how they're shipped, if they're shipped better, but I'd be a little bit nervous about them delivering comic books through Amazon. That's just me, but I don't know if I ever overpaid, but I got a second appearance of Rogue where she's punching out the Wolverine for I think under $10. I just liked it, and it's a way better cover than a first appearance cover. I agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of the first appearance orange cover with the boxes, but either way, I don't think you can go wrong. $50 and under, I think you're totally fine with most things that you buy. I used to say $100 and under, you'd be all right. Now I'm going to start to say with inflation, everything else, $200 and under. If you get a book that you really want, you can't complain. Okay. I think that's totally fine. Buy what you like. That's all that really matters. Just don't overspend anything over 200. Just be a little conscious of. Yeah, it's come down a little bit, but I think with the news of John Bernthal reprising his role and being confirmed, it's gone up a little bit more. Got an ASM 50 to grade. You think the current Spidey label would look good on it? You know what? I'm not a huge fan of this Spidey label. I guess I am, and I'm not. So I would love for them to do an Amazing Fantasy label. How great would that thing be if it I'm swinging with the guy? I think that would look better than this one. This almost reminds me of the almost like a cross between Mark Bagley Spider-Man and an Ultimate Spider-Man. So I like the label. On certain books, it may not look right, like a Silver Age. That's where I kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I would love to see a nice John Romita Silver Age label from CGC. If you're watching me, CGC, I would love to see that. How about one for each era? The Silver Age Spidey label, a Bronze Age Spidey label, Copper, so on and so forth. I think that would be great. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, it's a 9.8, man. I can't do anything better than that. In your opinion, for holding value, is Golden Age Batman versus Superman issues 2 through 15-ish? Be honest with you, there's only several Superman covers that I enjoy, and that is 6, 11, 9, 1, obviously, but that's out of reach for most of us. Batman covers, some of the early ones, there's a couple of Joker covers. I did a top 10 Joker comics that I wanted to own. So there was a few Golden Age books in there where the covers are absolutely beautiful. I think they're on par with one another. I'm not the buyer of Golden Age books where I want to go out and buy everything because everything's so expensive. I think if you're going to buy Golden Age, it's got to be a key or it's got to be a classic cover. And there's a few classic covers. That's why I like the Superman 6, 9, and 11 because they're all yellow covers, beautiful looking. There's a couple other Supermans out there. There's one with the train where he's stopping the train. I'm not a huge fan of that book. I know a lot of people are, but they're saying it's so classic. Me, I'm not. So it's either pick your poison. I think value-wise, they're about the same. With the exception, I'll give you Detective Comics 3031. That to me is the ultimate Batman classic cover. If you can get that, obviously it's a fortune, but that's the only exception. Do you feel FF48 ASM 50 will come down farther in price? It's possible. It's definitely possible, but I think I did the 48s come down like roughly 50 something percent, and 50 is, sorry, that's my Apple Watch. 50 has come down a lot and it's starting to creep up again. Again, if you're buying those books, you're buying them because you're going to hold on to them for a really long time, but you love the covers, you love the characters. ASM 50 to me is one of my favorite books. You guys know that. The cover, the story, the first appearance of the Kingpin, massive Spider-Man villain. So I don't think you can go wrong with buying that book if you love those characters and you love the story. Don't worry about that. 48 to me has come down so far, such a long time. There is a lot of copies out there. Off the top of my head, I want to say there's like almost 7,000 graded copies, possibly more. So probably why that book has gotten crushed. When the Silver Surfer comes, it's going to go back up. I have no idea. But if you're willing to hold on, I think either one of them is fine. I would have a hesitation if you're a long-term holder buying either one of those books right now. There you go. He doesn't like Amazon. With me, I have a friend who sells his comic books. I need 18 coming on Amazon. We need to deliver. The Walmart percent by Commonwealth never ever trashed on Amazon. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Ken. I'm not sure I'm following. Oh, Nick said I traded my Jim 83 Golden Record reprint Signature Series Stan Lee CGC 9.2, a Daredevil 16 CGC 7.5, Signature Series John Romita, and an ASM 16 CGC 5.0 white pager, a Silver Surfer 1 3.0 off white pager, SS4 of the classic John Buscema covers, CGC 6.0 off whites, plus $485 for Journey into Mystery 83 CGC 1.0 thoughts on the trade I made. Nick, let me ask you something. I don't know where you got that book, but on the Gym 83 CGC 1.0, but on the top left-hand corner of the book, if you're looking at the book, top left-hand corner, is there a little chunk out of it? Let me know before I answer this question. Okay? Top left, a little chunk right at the top that's out. Let me know yes or no if it is before I answer that. But a lot of great books that you gave up for that one. Just bought one of your fine red hats. Very snazzy. Thank you so much, Ending Soonest. I really appreciate that, buddy. I will segue into that before I get back to Nick's question, but thank you. I still have some great merch available for sale, guys. Hats are $20, I think, and the t-shirts are $20. So support the channel. I really appreciate it. Memberships are available for cheap as well. Totally appreciate it. So Nick, I'm waiting on you to answer this question if it does or not, but either way, we're going to get back to the unboxing shortly. Okay. I have 2 more boxes that I'm going to go through. So for anybody that just joined, I gave this thing away, and twice now I've given this away and nobody's claimed it yet. So today on the channel, if you are sticking with me the whole time, I'm going to do a poll at the end of the chat, at the end of the live stream. Whoever's here is going to have a chance to win this thing today. So stick around. Maybe a max an hour and a half I'm going today, so it's not going to be too long. But either way, if you're in the chat later today, you have a chance to win this thing, so stick around. No, there isn't. The reason I asked that, Nick, is because I traded my Journey into Mystery 83 1.0 when I got my Batman 1, and I know the buyer sold it to somebody else. I wasn't sure it was you, so that's not my copy. So I was asking. So I think it was a good trade. Now, I don't know the values of all these books. I'm going to say the Stan Lee Golden Record reprints, probably at least $1,000. Daredevil 16 CGC 75 is a high grade signed by John Romita. It's probably around the same price. Another 1,000. ASM 16 5.0. White Pages probably around $600 on my thing. Silver Surfer 1 3.0 is, I know it's gotten crushed right now, $350. Silver Surfer 4 and a 6.0 is a nice copy. Probably that's around 1,000 too, I would say. So plus $400 for Gym 83 1.0. I think a 1.0 off the top of my head is around, and I could be wrong, I don't remember what I sold mine for, but I'm going to say probably around $4,500. So I think you did fair. I'd rather have the Journey into Mystery 83 than all the other books, even though there's a Stan Lee SIG and the John Romita Sr. SIG on the DD 16. I think that's great. John Romita doesn't sign too much stuff, Senior, so I think that's a great book. But everything else is replaceable. You're not going to replace the Golden Record reprint. You got the real thing now, so I think that's a great deal, Nick. I do. I think there's a book. That's a book I'd rather have. Oh, we got that already. Thank you again there, Ending Soonest. When I buy my comic books on Amazon with a friend, Hardwood and Dutch, good industry on Amazon. I hope to comic books never been delivered trash or Torah. $50, 10 pounds for $80. All right. I'm not a buyer of books on Amazon. I think if I was going to buy new books, I'd do it at my LCS, give them the money, unless there is no LCS by you, and then you kind of have to find out where you're going to get stuff. If you're good with it, 100% fine. I know there's my comic shop as well that sells new books as well if you can't get it through your LCS or Amazon. I know what's a place in the city? What's it called? Midtown Comics sells you new books online, but it'll take them 2 months to get you books that are released this week. So that's why I stopped doing that. Wow, I drove 17 to 35 to get here. Tom, buddy, thank you. Appreciate that, buddy. That's all that matters, man. Like I said before, I know we talk a lot about money on the channel, but for investment purposes and because that's your favorite book, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, that's a better investment regardless than any of the other books you mentioned before. So that's all that matters. And because you love the character, you love the book, that's it. Perfect. Great job. So I got 2 more unboxings for you guys. Let's do that. And just keep the questions coming if you have them. So another CGC unboxing. So you got the comic, you got the toy. That was it for new books. So this is CGC unboxings from here on out. And I only got 2 more. So one is a book that I sent in to be graded. And the other one was a book that I sent in to be recased. So let's see which one this is. All right, so CGC has done a really good job on two of these things so far with packaging. I think they did awesome. I know there was a while where they were struggling a little bit with getting some of the stuff out without being damaged, but seems to be everything is good. All right, so this is the book that I sent in to be graded. Now, I'm glad that this came back on this show because I am not perfect. Okay, so a lot of you guys follow me. I don't always have all the answers, and when I look through books, I might not always have. What's the word I'm looking for? I make mistakes like everybody else. Okay, so when I bought this book, it's a Superman #6. It's a low grade copy. I bought it from someone off eBay. Outside of eBay. So I just messaged them and they said they actually told me the book was complete and that it was just low grade, blah, 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 blah. But I am not a connoisseur of Golden Age books. If you're going to ask me Silver Age, 100%. Like I can give you Silver Age answers all day long. Same with Bronze Age, Copper. Moderns, not so much. But this book came back from CGC in a 0.5, which I knew was going to be a 0.5. But it says that the centerfold is missing. Now, being that I'm not a huge Golden Age person, I did not recognize that when I went through the book. Okay. So this came back 0.5, which I knew it was. It was its front cover and back cover are attached, but it was never disclosed to me that this book had the centerfold missing. So boo-hoo to me. That's my fault. It's the seller's fault who was being dishonest. Maybe he didn't know. Regardless, not too happy about this one, but you live and you learn. I mean, it's still a Superman #6. Yes, it's missing the centerfold, but I can't do anything about it now. But this is how you learn, and this is how you get better from your mistakes, right? When you make them, you kind of go through and you kind of see what you did wrong. Maybe next time I should go ahead and find out what the page count was, what the centerfolds actually look like beforehand. But like I said, I wasn't too familiar with the Golden Age book, so this is what happens. But either way, I'm happy to have this book in the collection. This one may be for sale eventually, so keep your eyes peeled out for this one. Superman 6 is still a rare comic book, classic cover. So this one is probably an entry level grade. So again, you can see the back. It's attached, but chunk out of the top left missing, which I knew about. That's fine. I knew that. I knew it was a 0.5 going in. I just didn't know about the centerfold. But either way, a cool Superman cover. It'll look nice next to my Superman statue over there. So that's it. We have one more unboxing, but let me check up on the chat again. All right. Nick says, you're considering making a trade again. Tell me your thoughts. My two books are Hulk 181, CGC 4.0, Off-White, which is probably about $3,500, I would think, right now. He'll get a grade bump. The press and clean. The other is an All Winners 14. Top edge trim, so that's tough. I'm not a huge fan of trimming, even though it is a Golden Age book. That's the one restoration I'd really like to stay away from at all possible. It is a classic Schomburg's cover, absolutely. Paid $1,400 on it. Still a great cover, yeah. You're right. Counting pages should be done by both. I also sometimes do that as well. Yeah, again, you have to do your research with some of these books. Again, Silver, I can go and tell you 9 times out of 10 what the page count is, but not that good when it comes to Golden Age, as you can see. But what are you trading for, Nick? What are you trading for? See, these two books. Oh, wow. Hulk last sale for a 4.0 is $26.25. That is talking about getting crushed right now. Wow. Crushed. Absolutely crushed Hulk 181. That's why I don't own one right now. I sold both one I traded for the Batman one, and the other one I sold to a buddy, and then he sold it as well. So good thing he did that as well. But I don't know what you're trading for. Those two books, what are you trading for? So while we wait on Nick, let's get to the last unboxing, okay? So again, make sure we have any other questions you guys want. I will answer for you guys. Let me go the other way. So this is the recasing. So not a huge book. I'm still waiting on one other book from CGC to be recased. But that one's taking a little bit longer. This one is a high value one, so it came back a lot quicker. All All right, so this one, there's no tape or no rubber. Oh, there's a rubber band. Okay, but there's no tape on this thing. So that's a little suspect, CGC. Definitely a little suspect. But as I said, the recasing is never usually a big deal. There's a very rare time where something gets recased and it doesn't come back the same grade. But I thought it was cracked, but it was a hair. So it was a hair on top of the book. So that's fine. I don't care. Regardless, it is my Fantastic Four number 5, signed by Stan Lee, 2.0, cream to off-white. That's what it was before. So happy to have this one back. It's going to go back in my case behind me. I don't think I'm going to sell this one. As you guys know, it's my favorite villain outside some of the Spidey villains. This one I think is going to hang with me for a while. I've got to have a Fantastic Four number 5 in the collection. So one of my favorite books. Happy to have that signed by Stan Lee. You don't see that book signed by Stan Lee that often. That's one of the reasons I pounced on it. At one point, I had 3 FF5s, and I sold 2 of them to get this one. So that one's going to stay for a while. So Nick says he's offering for my 2 is a Hulk 181 5.5. Dude, I'm not trading anything right now for a Hulk 181. I know it's a popular character and people love the book, but you just illustrated where a 4.0 is at right now. We're talking about in less than a year, that book has just dropped another $1,000. Too many out there. You want to have it just to have the book. I think that's fine. Again, if you don't want that All Winners 14 with the trimming, I totally understand unleashing that one just to get rid of it. And you're trading your Hulk 181 now. So if you want to, I think that's fine. I have no qualms with it, but I'm not looking to trade any book for Hulk 181 right now. That's just my opinion. I think that while I think it'll stabilize at some point, it's a desirable book. It'll always be a desirable book, but I think a lot of Silver Age is on sale right now, and that's where I'd be putting my money if I had to. But if you want to do it, I think it's fine. I think a 4.0 and another book for a 5.5, if you're interested, or a 6.0, I think it's fine if you want the book. There you go, buddy. That's my point. That's why I always say when there's so many copies of something available, it's even as popular as that book is, it's not immune to going down. I don't think so. I think it had its boom, and I don't think we're getting a new X-Men team for quite some time, till well after they do the Fantastic Four movie. And even then, with Hugh Jackman coming back, I don't think it's going to explode soon. I'd rather own Silver Age keys than that one. I always say start in a Silver Age. If you can't go gold, the bigger Golden Age keys. And then when you're done there, then go to Bronze Age, because there's just so many copies available. And you guys know, if I'm going to buy a Bronze Age book, there's 5 books that I'm going to spend money on, and that's Hulk 181, Marvel Spotlight 5, Amazing Spider-Man number 129, Giant Size X-Men 1, and I'll give it honorable mention to Hulk 180. Outside of that, I'm not spending big money on any Bronze Age book. Do you think Key Collector is accurate in pricing comic? I don't use them for pricing. I know when I do the Hot 10, they give prices, and that's where I use the prices from. But I think when you're looking at the Hot 10, I think they're accurate. Everything else, I don't really use it, so I can't say. I like to see tangible data, and I like to see where the data is coming from. It's another reason I don't use Go Collect either. Excuse me. I use GPA because I can go ahead and find where those sales came from. Now, I know GPA doesn't use take info from Comic Link, but you could always just go on Comic Link and type, the book that you're looking at, and it'll tell you all the sales and when they happen. So you can use multiple sources, not just one. And that's what I would do. I always think that's your best bet. I think you got plenty of time, Nick. But if you want to do it, do it. I'm not looking to buy a 181 right now. I think it would be hard pressed to sell a 181 right now because it's come down so much. And I'm happy I got traded my copies when I did. I wish I traded them earlier, Danny, I know, but I saw your text. I will get back to you after the show. I was doing some editing on the King Kong video, which will be out this week, and so on and so forth. I agree. GPA is the most accurate because you can track the data, and that's what's important to me. And Nick brings up a good point because it's only for graded copies. So raw sales, they're not going to keep track of. What I do for raw sales is I go on eBay and look at the last sold stuff. You can go, and I put out videos for you guys, and I'll take a few Robux every week and I'll go over them. But you don't know what you're getting with Robux on eBay or wherever you buy them. So I can only judge by the pictures. I can only judge by the information I have at hand. So I don't have them in my hand. So Thank you, Candace, buddy. Appreciate it. What percentage of books that you send in for regrading actually get a bump? I assume you've repressed and cleaned it again. Don't agree with the grades. It must be a bump up that would make a financial sense. I agree with the fact that if you're going to send a book in for a bump, especially if it's a high dollar book, you really have to make sure that you are going to get a bump. So the books like this, I had it recased, not regraded. So they just changed the case out because it was an older CGC case. It needed to. This one, I think it was $65 to recase. It wasn't that bad, plus shipping, but I was sending in books anyway. So it was a no brainer to have those recased. And still, I have one coming back that is to be recased. I don't resubmit books a lot. I did that with a few modern books I had, and they came back a higher grade. But I press books myself, so I've cleaned a few myself also. So I don't do it often, but I do press stuff. Or every time I send in to CGC, I always give everything a little press beforehand just to make sure. Um, you'd have to ask the people who regrade and press and just to get bumps. You'd have to ask them that question. I rarely do it, so is it worth it? For some big books, it may be worth it, but if you get a lower grade or the same grade, you're just basically throwing money away. And that's money you could have used to buy another book. So I don't buy many moderns, so I'm not really doing that. I did it with an Edge of Spider-Verse 2, came back a 9.8, and I did it with my Ultimate Fallout 4. It went from a 9.4 to a 9.6, so I couldn't get that 9.8. I wasn't going to do it a third time, so I said, forget it. Would you rather have a Gym 83 or ASM 1? So that's a great question. For me, it's an Amazing Spider-Man 1. And I think if all you have to do is compare the grades and see where the price is for both of those grades, respectively, in a blue label where nothing's wrong with either book, and see which is worth more. So let's say a 1.0 for the Journey into Mystery was like $4,000. What's an ASM 1 at a 1.0? I want to say it's more than $4,000. So that's the book I'd rather have. If we're not talking about me loving a character, even though, I love Spider-Man anyway, so it's going to be ASM 1 no matter what. But if I had no attachment to the character, I think if you take the same grade and you compare prices, that's the book I'd rather have. So same grade. Yeah. That's just me. I think that's the better way to go. But again, like you said, you're a huge Thor fan. So you'd rather have that book than you're good. I still think it's a great book. So that's it for my unboxings. I'm going to share a few other things with you guys right now. We went through the stuff that was on the channel. Oh, yeah. All right. I remember what I wanted to show you guys. And again, keep throwing the questions out. We got plenty of time. 45 minutes I plan on staying on. So as I told you guys, I have some books that are listed for sale on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go to Mighty Comics _collectibles. So I'm going to show you a bunch of them right now. So here's two, I should say. Tales of Suspense 39. I just got this book back from CGC at a 2.0. I'm listing it up there. Doesn't mean I'm going to sell it, but if anybody wants to make me an offer, I have a listed price out there. If you follow me on Instagram, do me a favor, go check me out. Or even email me if you don't have Instagram. I'll show you a few books here right now that are for sale. And there's many more that are coming up that I do have for sale. I'm just trying to get some cash back in the reserve. So this Batman 227 has sold already. It's an X-Men 1 2.0, cream to off-white. There's a little piece out in the margins on 2 pages, like a little corner piece right here, which really is no big deal. Let's get to some more affordable books. Amazing Spider-Man 46. This Daredevil 1 sold. This is actually signed by the dude who plays Daredevil, which is awesome. I've never seen one of those before, so. ASM 13, which Danny was asking me about. This one is off-white pages, I believe. Or white pages. I can't see that, but it's one of the two. And then a 9.0 ASM 194, which is crazy because you don't ever see that. 9.0s. You see them, but you don't see them that often. Here's a big one. ASM number 3 and a 1.8 off-white pages. Again, something you don't see that often. And a ASM 252, a newsstand. White pager. I'm more of a page quality snob than I am a newsstand. You guys know I'm not a huge newsstand guy, but when I saw it, I had to buy it. ASM 6 sold, and ASM 20 is still there, which is actually, this one looks like it could be a press candidate, although I'm not saying it's going to get a grade bump, but it does look like it could use a little bit of a press. And there's one more for you guys. A couple of monsters. ASM 2, again, another off-white pager. You don't see a lot of the stuff off-white from Silver Age. There's a little bit of chunk missing out here, though. And an ASM number 4, I think that's an off-white or a cream to off-white. I can't tell from this picture, but a really nice-looking Sandman cover. First appearance of the Sandman, first appearance of the Vulture, and third appearance of Spider-Man, guys. Third appearance of Spider-Man. People forget about that. So, fortunately, bro, I don't have IG. You should check out the CGC boards. That's where I pretty much buy, only sell. Yeah, I checked out before. They were around a long time ago. I was like probably one of the early adopters of CGC. I know I've told the story a million times, but I bought an AF-15 raw. I actually bought it from Metropolis Comics in 2000 when I graduated college. I paid $4,000 for it, which I thought then was an extremely large amount of money. And it came back at 2.5 when I sent it to CGC. So I used them right away about 23 years ago. And I was happy with their services, even though back then it took a long time for you to get books back. I never got like an invoice or nothing. You just had to sit there and wait for the book to come back. There was no online like stuff. But back then I was using the CGC boards mostly just to talk to people. But there are some good deals I've heard that you can have out there. For me, like when I don't know a person, I need to have my back covered. So I don't think CGC backs what you buy through people out there unless you know the person. You just have to be careful. eBay will give you a back, they give you your money back 99% of the time. IG are more comfortable from the big 3 sellers out there, the IG sales guys, Elite Comics 11, Grails, Diamond Comic Club. Again, they speak for themselves. And of course, if you know someone on IG, it's easier to buy from them because you're not worried about it. If you don't know somebody, then don't buy something unless you have great references about that person. But obviously for me, you guys know, I've sold shit to millions of people out here on the community, so you don't have to worry about with me. All the stuff I just showed you is free shipping if you're interested. And any of the stuff I showed today outside the Dr. Doom, if you're interested in it, shoot me a message either on IG. My email's in the description of every video. So there's no reason why somebody shouldn't have claimed this stupid Thanos giveaway. This statue is awesome. So somebody today, if you're hanging out, you are getting a deal. Okay? I promise you that. And that's what I'm giving out to anybody who's hanging out with me for an hour and a half today. So again, I open the chat up to questions again, anything out there. I will say this to you guys. Did anybody check out the last time we came on or the time before that, we talked about the auction houses and some of the crazy books that have been showing up for sale on the auction houses. Everybody check those books out on what they sold for, because we had 2 Superman ones. We had a Batman one, and then another 2 Batman ones on Heritage. And the other ones that we're talking about a Comic Link. Another 2 Batman ones on Heritage. There's a 1/8 right now that are still going on. And then there's another Batman one. I'm sorry, another Superman one on Heritage as well, or Comic Connect, one of them. Crazy sales. So I'm still following them. There's a few that are out there that right now that I'm keeping my eye on. There was, in fact, I'll bring the Comic Link ones up because actually I don't know if we can bring them up. Thank you, buddy. I'm a 100% trusted seller. I don't think anybody's ever had an issue. In fact, let me give you a little story. So there was somebody who I know on Instagram who bought, this is a couple of years back. He bought the first appearance of Brother Voodoo to me. Okay. First appearance of Brother Voodoo. It was a raw copy. And I did back then is when I was doing live sales on YouTube. I usually sell a ton of stuff on YouTube. So we did a couple of live sales and he brought a first appearance of Brother Love. A couple of months goes by and he says, listen, I'm thinking about getting this book graded. And I think the book may have been trimmed. And I said, show me the book. Let me look at it. Because usually that's the first thing that I look for when I buy a book, is see if something has been trimmed. So to me, I said, measure the book from side to side, from top to bottom, and let me know what the measurements are. So I went through it and I saw, I said, you know what? That seems right to me. So maybe it was just a miscut in the book. That's what I think probably when I got the book that it went through. But I said to him, if you want to send me the book back, I will gladly give you the money back. No problem. All you have to do is ship it back to me. And he says, you know what? I think I'm gonna trust you, and because he wanted to have the book graded, that was why he was doing it. I said, tell you what, if you go to have the shit graded and it comes back that it's trimmed, I will refund you the money for the book, not for the grading, but for the book. Or you could send it back to me right now and I give you the money. And sure enough, I graded the book as 7.0. Sure enough, he sent it to CGC, came back a blue label 7.0. And now I'm not saying that I don't make mistakes because I do, but 100% money back guarantee. Okay. Um, and if something gets damaged in shipping, we can talk about something, but it's highly unlikely that somebody's slamming this stuff on the ground because I pack safely. So don't worry. I'm there. Hulk 1 or ASM 1? I'm going to go with Hulk 1. Only for the fact that ASM, Amazing Spider-Man 1, it's not his first appearance. It's his second appearance. And Hulk 1 is the scarcest Marvel key. So with that sense, I know Spider-Man is a lot popular, but I'd rather have a Hulk 1 than an ASM 1. But again, also, I don't know the prices off the top of my head for a Hulk 1 and an ASM 1 and a 3.0. 3.0, I'm going to say is probably close to 10,000 or at 10,000 ASM 1. A Hulk 1 at a 3.0 is worth probably more than that. 100%. So I think I'm right on that Hulk 1. Tons of big sellers, dealers. Yeah, like I said, if you're comfortable, I think that's great. I'm not saying I'm not comfortable. I just never have done it, so I can't recommend it. Oh yeah, like I said, if you know the dealers, and you know them, then I think you're fine as long as you're comfortable doing it. Like I said, if you don't know them, and it's kind of like, hey, I've gotten burned in the past. Okay, and we're talking 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I sent money to somebody in Western Union, not realizing it was a freaking scam. So that's my fault. But that's you live and you learn. But I wouldn't do that again. All right, 27 people in the chat. It is 1:22, and I'll remind you, we're giving this bad boy away to somebody in the chat today. The Thanos statue person never claimed it the 2 times I ran it. So someone in the chat is winning this thing. You have to hang out to the end, though. Because that's when I'm going to run it, and I already know how I'm going to do it. So, oh yeah, the auction houses. I wanted to go through some of the auction house stuff. So let me bring up Comic Link real quick. Again, I'm here for questions. So I'm drinking seltzer, and that's why I'm burping. So I apologize. All right. How do I share this now again? There we go. All right. So now that you guys can see me, okay? So this is the Batman that sold. It's tough to see here a little bit, but it's a 0.5. I know we went over this a couple weeks back. 0.5 green label. Now the green label states that it's a married copy, meaning that the cover is married to the book. So somebody took another cover and they put it on top of the complete book otherwise. Okay. So that's the only thing wrong with the book is that it's a married cover. A lot of times CGC says it's a married cover and it just maybe doesn't look right, that it's not completely, they think, oh, it's not from this book, but I don't know how they tell that. They know that better than me, but if it covers mangled, maybe they can or they can't. I don't know what gives them the inkling in to say this is a married cover, but regardless, there's a tape all over this book as well. So this book sold, I think, for just under 40,000, which I think was a pretty decent price. There was a 0.5 that sold on Heritage not too long ago that had crud all down the spine. I'll see if I can find that one while we're doing it. But either way, we said this before. I think there's just under 300 copies of Batman 1 available. So I thought that actually was a pretty good deal that somebody got. I know there's tape. I know it's a 0.5, but I said on a couple streams ago that if you bought that book and you had it resent into CGC and you said to them, could you recase this or regrade this for me and give me a blue label? I thought it was worth it. 100%. I thought it was worth it because they give blue labels now. You can request a blue label. Okay. So now all of a sudden you would have a complete blue label, non-restored Batman 1, which I think is, will give it more value. Now, I know it's going to cost money to kind of resend that book in or whatever, but in the long run, I think it's 100% worth it. 100% worth it. So I'm trying to find this book while we do this. This low grade Batman one. Because when I saw the book, I originally thought it was worth taking a stab at, but I want your guys' opinion. Here it is. Okay. So here, let me switch screens and you give me your opinion. Okay, guys? You give me your opinion on this book and tell me if it was worth it. Okay. All right. So again, 0.5 we see right here. Now let me show you the other one. So this one sold in November 19th, 2019. It's 22. And I was actually looking at this book saying, I actually took a couple of bids at it. But as you can see, the whole spine of this book is like really, there was some type of tape that was on this book. And I don't know if it was removed or what, because there's no notes on this book that says there's tape on it. So I think the tape was removed, but all you can see, all the residue from the book is still there. It's also in an oversized CGC case, which to me, I know why they do it because of the delicacy and the condition of the book. They put it in an oversized magazine case, but I think it looks ridiculous. So this book, I think, sold for 40 something $1,000. I forgot what. I'm not going to sign into Heritage to look right now, but I think when I say it sold for 43 before the premium, don't hold me to that, but I think that's the number. So for this other one to sell for 39, I think was the sale price. I think this person got a pretty good deal. I know there's tape, but oh no, I'm on the wrong screen. I know there's tape, but I still think it was a decent deal that this person got. And again, hopefully they hold on to it for a really long time. But we also have the Superman one that was here. So this one was trimmed on all three sides, and as you can see, it had color touch. It had I don't know if it was leaf casting or some other work that's been done to it, but a lot of work that was done to that Superman one. So I actually took a stab at that one as well, but I don't like to buy books that are trimmed. That's one restoration where I kind of try to stay away from. And because of the dirtiness of this book, it doesn't present as well. So I stayed away from this one. There was a couple, there's another Superman one that was coverless, 0.5 restored. That one sold as well, which I think someone got a decent deal on that one as well. So let's get back into the chat. The only game I play on PlayStation is Madden, unfortunately. So I haven't played any other PlayStation game. Robert, thank you for joining me, bud. Did you hear Jonathan Majors? Yeah. What do you think you're going to do? So anybody who doesn't know, not that I want to spread this rumor, but Jonathan Majors was arrested for some, I guess, assault charges on a female. So that's not good. Hopefully it's not real or it's fake, but I think it's pretty real. So hopefully Disney doesn't scrap this whole thing. I don't think they can at this point. They've set this thing so far out, so many years that I don't think you can kill Kang, especially now that we've all seen the many variants of Kang that was shown at the end of Ant-Man Quantumania. So I think they're stuck. If they get rid of Jonathan Majors, I think they're stuck. I don't think they can recast them. I think they'll lose a ton of viewership. So that's just my opinion, but I'm not Disney. We'll see what they do. Looks like a cool game. I wanted to buy a book off Comic Click, but it doesn't take PayPal. That was strange. You know what? When I got a couple of things off the auction this month, I had to pay by check, which I think is awesome. They do take a wire and they do take a regular written check, which is awesome. You just mail it to them and they deposit it and they wait for it to clear. Once it clears, they send you the book. I mean, talk about trusting somebody to buy books through check. I mean, that's unheard of, but they still do it, which I think is great. So I think check works. If you just be patient for them to get the check, cash it, and then send you the books, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom, man. Heritage, if you guys don't know, at the end of their online auctions, it goes to like a live auction, and people could still bid on it. Now you can too. You could sign in and bid live right there with everybody else. But why are we having an online auction on an app and then go to a live auction? Like, it makes no sense. 0 sense to me. To me, it seems like they're doing it for a reason to filter books to other people. I don't know. It makes no sense. You're telling me these other people can't get on the app and just bid live right then and there? Comic Connect, which is even worse in my opinion, every time somebody bids, they add 3 minutes at the end of the auction. So somebody bids and there's a new high bidder, adds 3 minutes. Go 5 seconds left. Somebody bids, new high bidder. They started over 3 minutes. So there's no sniping. I understand that, but that is extremely frustrating. I don't know which is worse. Comic Link and Godspeed to them. There is no extending of time. There's no live bidding. It's just you put your max price in at the end of the auction and you have a chance to win it. And that's how it should be. I think the other two, they just want to drive up the prices or funnel books. But I can't, I'm not going to prove that. I still bid on them. But I've yet to win auctions from either of those other two because of that. Nick says, if DC kept the weirdo playing Flash, I think Major will be fine. Well, DC's a little bit of a different story because DC is under the gun right now. That's another one I should coin, that under the gun, right? James Gunn, and they're under the gun to make good movies. Comic Link doesn't like the 3% people takes. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Nick. Here's another thing, Comic Link, if you win an auction, it's supposed to be 3%, but if you pay within a certain amount of time, they knock off the 3%, which I think is awesome. I think Heritage is 20% and Comic Connect is 15% buyer's premium. There's a Batman 1 CGC 4.0 on the board. Nick, is that Blue Label? Is it restored? And what are they asking? I love you, bud. I'm still here for you too. Trust me, I'm gonna see who's here when we do the giveaway. I'm gonna ask for a shout of hands, and then all those people, will be in the raffle to win it at the end. I listen. There's some books out there like Golden Age that only have a minimal amount of copies, and you're not going to have a lot to choose from. So I totally get it. And if you have to buy a trim book, you have to. I try to stay away from it, especially when I'm buying a big book like a Batman 1 or a big Golden Age book like a Superman book. That's the one restoration I try to stay away from, no matter what. And as in Silver Age books, I don't want restoration. I won't buy it. Golden Age, you get away with it because of the era of the books and how they treated them. No comment, but you may be right. Which studio needs a bigger hit, DC or Marvel? And which movie do you think would be better, Flash or Guardians 3? I think that Marvel needs a bigger hit right now. DC, I don't think it can get any lower. All their movies are crap. The first Wonder Woman was okay. I thought the Superman one that they did was okay, but it was too dark for me. Superman shouldn't be that dark. The rest of them, and I'm excluding the Nolan trilogy because that was before the new DC plan. The Nolan trilogy was perfect. I thought they were awesome. Anything after that, I thought was not good. Batman versus Superman was awful. Justice League was even worse, if possible. If that's worse, it was awful, so bad. I thought it was terrible. But I think Marvel, there's been a lot of stagnation, and because of COVID really hurt them hard because they used all their major characters already. And now some of these secondary characters that a lot of lay people don't know. I think it's hurting them. Of course the wokeness is hurting them too. That's going on. A lot of people have jumped off the ship. So I think Marvel needs a bigger hit. I think the movie I think they're both going to be good. I've heard the Flash movie is awesome. I heard it's really good. And I've enjoyed all of the Guardians 3 films. With that said, because they're doing Flashpoint, because of Michael Keaton in the movie, and because I heard it's a really good movie, I'm going to say the Flash is going to be a bigger movie. Guardians 3, everyone will go see it because it's the end. It's the end of that team. And I'm hearing some rumors about what's happening to certain characters. So they both will be big movies, and I think they'll both be well received. But with Keaton coming back and hearing the movie's fantastic, Affleck and the blue and gray suit as well, I don't think it gets better than that because you have nostalgia, you have a new comic book movie, you have people from different universes coming in as well. I'm going with the Flash. It's a Blue Label. Batman 1 4.0, Blue Label. It's got to be a nice chunk of change right there, way out of my price range. Oh, when I said PayPal, I meant PayPal. Comic Link doesn't want the fees for goods being paid as they take fees themselves. Yeah. But again, they won't take a fee if you pay within a certain amount of time. And if you write them a check, man. When I wrote them a check, I was like, holy crap, they take a check and they cleared it. It's no issue. I'm just waiting on the books now. No, I've never heard of that. I got to check that out. Bat in the Sun. Very cool. Yeah, you know what? Outside of like a select few guys that I always or gals that I watch on YouTube, there's not much that I watch. Um, so I got to check that out though. And the guy that I watch the most is Comics Explained. He actually has a great voice for radio, for YouTube. So, and he's got a really great like visual view to his channel as well. He's got 1 million subscribers. So, but he's fantastic. All right, we've been on for an hour. We got about 20 minutes, and I'm going to run the giveaway. So if you're in the chat, hang out for 20 minutes. I'm going to call on your name to see who's here, and then we'll run it. But I'm looking forward to movies in the next couple of years for Marvel. I mean, Guardians 3, like, I'm not really looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be okay. The Marvels, I'm not really looking forward to. So next year, the movie I'm probably most anticipating is the Fantastic Four and the Avengers movies, right? I may obviously the new Captain America when it comes out. Obviously, I think I want to see that, but I'm just more drawn to those characters. There's no Iron Man. There's no more Hulk. If they do a World War Hulk, I'll go see that. But outside of that, I can't think of anything that I really really wanted to see. So I'm Fantastic Four is the biggest thing. Hopefully they cast the right people. But I think that's going to get the MCU back. That's the movie that's going to get them all together again. He had to make breakfast. He's back, baby. Yeah, I mean, but Jason Ovain, do you mean the current X-Men that we got in the Fox movies or the new X-Men? Because I heard that they can't bring the new X-Men in until 2025. That's the rumor. So if they don't have access to use those characters that are not, from the Fox universe already, that they can't bring in anybody else. So if that's the case, I'm anticipating to see them too, man. I can't wait, but we got a while, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. Joel, how you doing, bud? Hello, boss. Trying to grab myself some more books. Looking at ASM 2, 3, and Batman 121. What would be the better buy in your opinion? Well, so let me say to you, I have 2 out of the 3 books for sale on my Instagram, bud. I have a ASM 3 1.8 and ASM 2 2.5 for sale on my Instagram. So or just email me because my contact is in every video. So if you are interested and you're not on Instagram, email me. I think out of all those 3 books, it definitely would be the ASM 2 or 3, and it's really your preference. Do you like, are you more of a Doc Ock fan? Are you more of a Vulture fan? The only other thing is that ASM 2 is the 3rd appearance of Spider-Man, so that may be a better buy in the long run. But the villain that's better, in my opinion, is Doc Ock. Batman 121, depending on the grade, maybe a little cheaper, maybe around the same price. So we've seen the Vulture, we've seen Doc Ock. For spec purposes, Batman 121 may be the better buy. I just got one, but I've been looking for that book for years. I don't think you go wrong with any of them, in my opinion. That's just me. Any of those 3 books I'd want to own, and I do own them. So I'm all for any of them. Now, new X-Men. Yeah, long wait. Also, the cartoon, I hope, is good. I'm sure it'll be good. But we do have a long wait for live X-Men, unfortunately. I know. The new Hulk is straight trash. I hope the Deadpool movie is awesome, and the same with the new project with Thor. I'm not sure if they're going to do anything with Thor for a while. That last movie was god awful. So the Deadpool movie, I am definitely looking forward to 100%. When that comes out, I will definitely go see it. Love the character. Loved him in the first 2 movies. The second one was First one was great. And I know Marvel will do the right thing with this character. And from what I hear, Deadpool is traveling the multiverse and finds Wolverine before he's killed from that, from the Wolverine movie where he dies at the end. And he kidnaps him and takes him through the multiverse with him. So I could see like it being like a buddy movie where he's just like annoying the living daylights out of Wolverine the entire movie until they find themselves stuck in our universe. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. I hope they do it right. Kenneth, I promise you, I will give everybody a minute to get in the chat when we run it. I promise you. Most of Phase 5 slated movies, I'm going to wait for streaming. I'm just not that interested in the single movies. But if the overall storyline is great, I'll go see it. Yeah. I mean, I was interested to see Quantumania, to see Kang for the first time. And I thought the movie was okay. It wasn't like gangbusters. I think if you're expecting Endgame on an Ant-Man movie, it was fine. So people who complain, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you were expecting, but there was no reason for to go nuts. It was an Ant-Man movie. I just hope they stop pushing away good characters that are male for their female counterparts, rather it's daughter or sister. I know what you mean, but the way I look at it is they've already used Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, the original Avengers team. Outside of those characters, who else do you want to see in Marvel? Like we've gotten introduced to Shang-Chi, She-Hulk, the new Captain America Falcon. Obviously Bucky Barnes has been around forever, the Winter Soldier. Who else in Marvel do you guys want to see out there? Fantastic Four and X-Men, right? But outside of Fantastic Four and X-Men, who do you want to see? So drop me notes in the chat. Out of everybody I've just mentioned to you, outside of those facts, who else do you want to see? Who else do they have that's like, you like people are going to flock to theaters to see? Spider-Man, obviously, owned by Sony, unfortunately. You got to understand the movies that they built over 10 years apart to build up to the Infinity Saga, like if they were building towards something, and right now it just feels like they're not building towards anything until right now. Quantumania was the first one that really said, all right, we know what's going on. It's like, I forgot what movie it was where they introduced Thanos at the end, right at the end of the movie and the end credit scene. It might have been one of the Avengers movies. That's when it kind of like started to take shape. And that's what we just got with Quantumania. So again, he's a secondary character though, or even tertiary. So, Danny, you brought up a great point. This is a character I also want to see done well. I thought that the movie for Nicolas Cage I thought was terrible, but he looked great. I thought they did a great job the way he looked. So I am excited to see this character as well. So you just brought up one, Ghost Rider. They have to get that character right. So give me some more comments. That was a great one. We all want to see myself in a movie, bro. Get Marvel to put me in. I could be the new Stan Lee, right? I could make cameos. That'd be awesome. Blade and then horror team ups in the vein of Werewolf Special. So the Werewolf Special we saw, I thought it was good. I thought it was very good. But again, we're talking about layperson. Do we think a layperson is going to go to the theater to watch Werewolf? Moon Knight, that flopped. It was okay, the series at best. It flopped because I think the layperson doesn't know who Moon Knight is, so it wasn't going to do great on Disney Plus anyway. Blade, again, it's a good example, but all the stuff that I've heard with the rewrites, with the main character not liking what they're going in a direction with the movie, I've heard nothing but bad things so far about that movie. So hopefully it gets turned around and it's good, because that's another one character that I think people will flock to. It showed it in the 80s or 90s when that movie came out that people like that character. So that's two, Ghost Rider and Blade. Another one, Silver Surfer. Sorry. So I'm going to say this about Silver Surfer. We already know he's coming to a special presentation. That's the rumor. Why wouldn't they do a Silver Surfer movie? Why are they doing a special premiere? Because they don't think they could do well with a Silver Surfer movie? I think it would. Do they just want to introduce the character before he shows up in Fantastic Four? Maybe. But that's a pretty big character. So it scares me that they want to do that. Just have a small little show, a one-off about introducing the character before getting to that. So I don't know why they're doing that. To me, I thought there would be a nice introduction about, especially if we're going to do Cosmic with Adam Warlock going to be sticking around after Guardians 3, of having this character out there. Why not do a movie? So yes, I did. I was there, Robert. I did a video. It's coming out this week. I'm going to show you guys everything that I saw. It was a blast. Absolute blast. Still going on right now for day 2. I only went day 1, but yes, I was there. So far we got Blade, we got Silver Surfer, and my favorite so far is Ghost Rider. So I want Image Production to start doing their own movies or correspond, but also the Darkness, which Blade had a TV show. But that wasn't too good, so maybe a movie, Cyberforce, Pit, Wildcats, all of the above. I don't think Image will ever. I don't think they have the money to do that. I think if they can't, I know Todd is trying to get Spawn off the ground, and if he can't do that, I think unless it gets optioned by somebody else, that it'll never happen. But Spawn is a character. The original Spawn movie with Michael, what is it, Jai Michael White or whatever his name is? I thought that was it's a pretty classic Spawn movie. I thought it was pretty good. John Leguizamo in that movie was great. Still find it hysterical. I'd like to see a legit Hercules with wokeness. I want to see a Luke Cage. I like to see Blade without introducing a daughter that's going to take over him. Um, I don't think they could pull off a huge Hercules movie. Obviously, I think you saw the end of Thor. If they had like a Thor versus Hercules movie, I think that could be good. I just don't know how they would set it up. But again, I think as comic book fans, we go see it. But as a layperson going to see Hercules versus Thor, no. I think Ghost Rider's got a chance. I thought Silver Surfer could have had a chance, but they're doing the special presentation. Blade obviously has a chance, but I'm just not hearing good. Spawn is the one I just brought up. Absolutely. I think if Spawn's a very popular character and the only Image character that I think could get his own movie right now, but they're having trouble getting that movie off the ground just to even be made. So, and what's his face is still set to star in it, Jamie Foxx. So that's one that could do very well. Stop, yeah, just kidding. Nova again, but he couldn't stand in his own movie. So we're talking about standing in their own movie. That's my whole point because they use all the Avengers outside of Fantastic Four and X-Men who could star in their own movie, and people who are not comic book fans go see it. And so far, 3 good examples. One they're doing is Blade. Ghost Rider, absolutely. I think people would go to see it. And Silver Surfer, but they're already doing a special presentation because I don't think they would do well in a movie. Michael Jai White, that's it. Yeah, I mean, for the age that it was, I mean, the FX are what it is, but it's still like a cult movie, man. I love it. I enjoy that movie. I watch it every time it's on TV. It's just a good, fun movie. The original Howard the Duck, I love. That movie was classic. Watch that all the time when I was a kid, but not a real superhero movie. I don't know about that, dude. Todd is the man. It would be cool, but I want them to remake the movie in like the classic style that it was done, right? I don't want him to be in a superhero movie. I want it to be on like what we saw back in the 80s because that's worth it. I would go see that. All right. Guess what? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'm going to see who's in the chat, and one of you has a chance to win this Thanos statue because 2 times we haven't gotten it claimed. So I'll show you the front. That's what the statue looks like, by the way. Show you the back. It's an awesome statue. So what some subscribers lose, you guys have gained for hanging out with me on a Sunday afternoon. So in less than 5 minutes now, we're going to run that. I think that Conan has been done to death. I mean, the first one with Arnold was the best one out of all of them, and I don't think a lot of lay person is going to go see a Conan movie, but that's just me. All right, so you just made my life because they're working on a He-Man Netflix movie right now. I would also like to see a Thundercats movie, but they're not Marvel characters. But yes, I am waiting for a He-Man movie to be done right with great special effects because I think that movie would do awesome, just like Transformers did awesome. And I think when Michael Bay screwed up the first franchise, it was still entertaining. But if he had done the right one right from the get-go, it would have been awesome. If they do He-Man right, or even Thundercats right, that movie can make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't think it'd be $1 billion, but there's a lot of He-Man fans out there, and there's a lot of Thundercats fans. So yes to both of those. But we're talking Marvel right now. But yes, Danny, that one tugs at my heartstrings, the He-Man one especially. Desired. What's going on, Nigel? How you doing, pal? He did. Listen, I still found the cartoon to be entertaining, the new cartoon, but they took it in a different direction. But if they make the original characters into a movie and they do it right, Hundreds of millions of dollars. Thanks, Jason. Joy, how you doing? I take it you're from Ireland? All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes till the Thanos giveaway. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to work it, okay? So in about 3 minutes, I'm going to poll everybody who's in here, okay? Everybody's in here. I'm going to take a poll, and you're just going to go here. Just comment here so I know who's in here. Once we do that, I will, when I actually run it, I'm going to pick a number in my head, and I will go through down that list of people, and you get one shot. No, I don't want to see anybody putting more than one number out there. Whoever's closest to the number without going over will win the Thanos giveaway. That's how we're going to do it, okay? And I'm going to write the number down when I do it, so this way you know I'm not cheating, okay? Okay. Get my pen and my paper. We got about 2 minutes, and then we'll run it. The first team was awesome. I agree with you. Because it's like they try to continue from the original series, and that was awesome. And if they just stuck to that, it would have been great. But this is unfortunately, it's a business, so they went from like the original material and they tried to turn it into something else where they could sell toys, which they could sell merchandise, and of course that toy line, like the Masterverse, it's okay. And then they have the third one, which is another TV series, which actually was garbage. It's already got canceled. So if they got to stick to the source material. I say that all the time. That's how you win. You stick to source material. And the origin line is still going. It's still awesome. Like, I don't know how much longer it's going for because they went through most of the characters already. But the origins line is awesome because they look like the originals. And I think that's what people want. But they try to appeal to kids and to everybody else. So we haven't gotten a Spider-Man versus Venom movie, the old one. I agree. So this is one that could be done already. Spider-Man versus Venom is another one that's great. I think we're going to get it. I think at the end of the next trilogy, there has to be Venom in our universe and has to be Spider-Man going against him as a villain, right? In the Sonyverse, Venom's the anti-hero. So that's great for their universe. But in our MCU, he's got to be the villain, right? That's what everybody wants. That's what we've been waiting for. A classic ASM 316, all of a sudden done on screen. How awesome would it be to see this on screen where Venom is putting Spider-Man down into the ground and we see this shot in a movie? That's what we want as comic book fans, right? When we see a classic cover, I want to see that in a movie, that cover. Again, I think it would be awesome too. It's something I would go see, but for the non-comic book person, I don't think they would flock to it. That's why Marvel, I don't think, is going to do it. That they do, Nick. That they do, Vinny. I think part of getting rid of the person that they got rid of is only a small part of the decisions they'll have to make. But I mean, if they want to make good content and keep the fans happy, and that's what this is about, in my opinion, keeping the fans happy, they'll be all right. If they don't and want to go another direction, problem is that they're trying to make movies right now for not the comic book fan. And so the lay person will go see it. But what they fail to realize, if you make the movie for a comic book fan and keep it most of it accurate to comic books and how we portray these characters, the rest of the people will still flock because the movies are good. The comic book fan will talk about to their people who don't follow comic books, their friends, and be like, hey, this movie was freaking awesome. You got to go see it. And then they'll go see it. Yeah, Ghost Rider, I think, is the one that they got to get that right because that's the one that could kind of help along with the Fantastic Four and X-Men, which you mentioned. I got to check it out. I don't remember seeing that, but yes, I would love to see it. I always said to you guys, Marvel Spotlight 5 to me is the book from the Bronze Age. I know people are saying 181, but the one I think has the most growth ahead of it is this because out of the Bronze Age 5 that I mentioned, this one has the lowest CGC census numbers, okay? Marvel Spotlight 5 out of the 5 big Bronze Age books that I mentioned have the lowest CG census numbers. So it's a black cover. So the higher the grade, the better. So I love this book. I don't own right now, but I do plan on getting one back in the collection. I have to trade mine, unfortunately, for my Batman one, but that's one I plan on reacquiring. I know, but that's what Sony does. That's what Sony does. They screw up and they make bad movies. It's been that way ever since the first Spider-Man movie and the second Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. So I like the way you're thinking about Enter the Dragon, but I actually thought this movie was pretty entertaining because it was something that I wasn't expecting. So I actually thought it was entertaining. It wasn't a typical Marvel movie, but I actually enjoyed the movie. I thought his sidekick, I thought she was hysterical. So I actually enjoyed the movie for what it was. But I really didn't know anything about Shang-Chi going into that movie. Um, I've never read a Shang-Chi book in my life, so I couldn't comment. So, but either way, I thought it was entertaining. All right, you guys ready? Thanos giveaway time. So do me a favor. Anybody who's in the chat, and right now we have 26 people, okay? Just comment here, HERE, or spell it however you want, so I know who you're here, and right now, not just going in and out. Here. I'm counting here, so all you got to say is here. So I'm looking in the chat who's typing here. All right, Jay Andrews, you're in. Writing your name down here. All right, Vinny, you're in. Nothing, you're in. Nowhere bound. Robert, you're in. Joel, you're in. Nick Medina, you're in. Jason Ovian, you're in. Tom NT, you're in. Ray, you're in. Kenneth Bird, you're in. Danny, you're in. I'm going to give it a minute and then we'll go. But right now I have Candaris. I just saw you, buddy. You're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Back in the game. You're lucky you made it, Rohan. You're lucky. I'll give it a minute and then I'm going to write a number on a piece of paper. How many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So as of right now, there's 14 contestants. Okay. So I'm going to try to make it as fair as I can. I guess we'll do a number from 1 to 100. Don't say anything yet. I haven't written down the thing. Okay. So Bo Rogers, you made it. So 15. All right. Tabitha Miller, you're in it. Okay. 16. All right. So here's the thing. Sure, Pancake Man. Pancake Man. He knows what I mean by that. It's an inside joke. All right. So that's it. You didn't comment here. You're out. Too late. We have all the contestants. There's 16 contestants, okay? Anybody who comments now, you're out. You haven't been here the whole time. 16. Very good. So don't shout out any numbers yet. I'm going to pick a number from 1 to 100. You get one shot to pick a number. I'm going to go through the 16 and I'm going to make sure everybody picks a number. So before I do anything, don't shout it out. I'm going to call the names out. Now, you know, I'm not going to call the names out. You just put a number out. And 1 to 100, I'll tell you when we go. 1 to 100, you're going to pick a number and you're going to write it. You only get one shot. So if I say you put more than one number out there, you're out. How's that? Don't put 2 because you're going to confuse me. So the 16 contestants, one number, 1 to 100, you put it out. If there's a tie and someone puts the same number, and let's say that's the winner, then those people will run it again. Those 2 people or 3 people. 1 to 100, 16 entrants. If you put the same number, whatever. But I'll give precedence. You just, when I say go, you put your number in and that's it. And then, but let me put down the number first. Yeah, Bob Barker style. Let me think of the number. 1 to 100. Ready? So let me ask you guys a question before we go anything. Should I do closest without going over or just closest? So let's say the number is 79 and I have a 78 and an 80. They're both the same. So is it close to without going over, or is it just if there are 2 people who are like one away, we'll just do it between the 2 of them, or should I do it without going over? You tell me. Just give me your thoughts real quick. So just closest. Closest. All right, I have two votes for closest. Closest. There's 3 votes. That's good enough for me. Okay. So the closest wins. So if there's 2 people who are 1 away, then those 2 people will fight it out for 1. We'll do another one and go like that. All right. I've written the number down. See my pen? My pen is going over here on the arcade. So I can't change the number. So you get 1 shot. Go ahead and put your number out there. 1 to 100. It's only the closest. So Vinny, that's 1. X-Men 1. Bishop Davis, you weren't in it, buddy. You didn't come in here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. Martin, you're out. You weren't here when I said here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm missing 2 people, aren't I? I said there were 16, so let's go back and count them again. I see Vinny. I see Jay. I see Joel, Tabitha, Nowhere, Jason Ovian, Ray, Tom, Ken, Robert, Nick, Nothing, Danny, Rohan. So who are we missing? Candaris, I don't see you, do I? I just want to give a chance to everybody out there who is here when I did hi. Vinny, Jay, Joel, Tabitha, Nowhere, Jason, Ray, Tom is 8. Ken is 9. Ken is 8. Robert's 9. Nick is 10. Nothing's 11. Danny's 12. Rohan's 13. I'm missing 3 people. All right. Well, I'm not waiting for 3 people because 2 or 3 people didn't respond. So I'm taking back my pen because I got to do some math. Because some of you are no one hit the number. So let's just say that no one hit the number. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm going to pull a couple of names to see who's the closest. Okay. Yeah, there's 16 numbers in the chat, but X-Men Bishop wasn't here when I did the here, and neither was Martin. So I don't have there on the here thing. That's why. And same with Bo Rogers Photography. They weren't here when I did the here thing. So, oh, wait. Bo was here. I apologize. Bo was here as well. Bo was here. But Martin wasn't here, and X-Men 1 Bishop wasn't here. But Bo was here as well. I apologize, Bo. So you're in it. Yeah, next time use a spinner. I thought this would be a nice way. Candaris, you're late, bud. Did you pick a number, Candaris? Because I didn't see your number. That means you came out and went back in. All right, so we have a winner. We have a winner. The number wasn't picked. I'll show you the number, but the closest person to the number was 36. Nothing. Because my number was 33. Close was Vinny, and Jason Ovian was close to 25, but the number was 33. So Nothing. You were the winner, buddy. Congratulations. 33. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You have to email me. You have to email me. the description, it is my contact, it says contact and then my email address in every description of every video. You have to email me and send me your address. All right. Just say, hey, this is nothing from YouTube and I won. Here's my address. And I will send it to you and then I will email you the tracking information. Next time, if there's a giveaway, and we do it like this, I will use the, I'll put all the names into the random picker and we'll do it that way. I just, this way was quicker. I didn't want to type all the names in if everybody was here, but I wanted to make sure there's the guys who were here and gals who were here for most of the video today, because I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me and talking comics. So nothing. Congratulations. Your lady picked it. There you go. So do me a favor. You got to email me though. If I swear to God, if you don't email me and I don't mail this out to you, I'm setting this thing on fire live on camera. Okay. No one's winning it then. So thank you again. If you guys don't know, if you're not members of the channel, when I say members, it's a $199, $499, or $9.99 membership of the channel, depending on what level you want. The $199 level just gets you early access to when I do videos. Like there was a couple up already this week that nobody else has seen except members. The $4.99 is the mighty level where you get all that, but then I do a video like once every couple of months about the books I'm looking to buy right now. And I give you them a heads up of what I'm buying in case they're looking to buy something similar. So they get that. And the big membership, which nobody's ever done, is I give you the $10 right back basically, and you could use it on my store. So it just it helps me move bucks. It helps you move merchandise, and it gives you $10, that you're using to get videos early or get the other memberships. You get to watch the other, what I'm buying right now, and you get the $10 back because I get to move some merchandise. That's it. See you, Danny. James, you're late, buddy. Yes, I did go. I'm doing a video that will be out this week about everybody was there. It was an awesome show. It was freaking amazing. Got to see everybody, met a few people that I've been wanting to meet for a really long time, but it was a great show. Books are great. People were great. And to me, that's what the show is about. Are you from the area, James, or I don't remember where you live? See you, Danny. Thanks, Jason, buddy. Nick wants to know if anybody saw Dungeons and Dragons or John Wick. I haven't seen Dungeons and Dragons yet. It looks okay. Something I was into when I was a kid, but I haven't played or done that in years. No, I'm not making a trip to Cali for a short box show. A lot of people, I guess, are sponsored by Shortbox. I don't know what they get off of that, but I see a lot of ads on videos for Shortbox, and so I don't know if they're getting something or just helping them out. But I would like to do something like that. But no, I'm not going to the show in Cali. I'm on the other side of the country. If I'm going to go to a show anywhere else, I would love to go to San Diego Comic-Con. That's obviously the main one I'd love to go to. But I want to go where other guys that I know, like I know Errol lives in Australia, so he's not coming here. Jason lives in Tennessee. A couple other guys who live outside of the tri-state area I would love to meet. So if we could get like a group together somewhere. That's why I say if you ever guys want to come to New York, like New York Comic-Con was fun. I know it's not San Diego, but I would love to. Everybody comes here for New York, so I'm here from here. So like, if I can get a whole bunch of people out, and then maybe we can organize something like after the fact one day and go to get drinks or whatever. I think that'd be great. Northern Virginia, about 45 hours. Oh, I didn't think it was that close, Virginia. 45 hours. That's pretty good. Yeah, definitely, man. If you could come up for, like I just said, come up for New York Comic Con. That's just, you don't have to stay in New York. You can stay like right outside of New York, like where I live in Jersey. Probably cheaper and just drive in, or hell, you can come with me if you want. I'll pick you up and we'll go. But just to get a bunch of people together, I think that would be awesome. Vinny, you were close, bud. I think you and Jason were the next ones there. I know. You're way behind, Candaris. Way behind. I think you're watching this on a delay, unfortunately, because I already picked the winner. Yeah, let me know who goes, Nick. I would love to hear who goes to the one in Cali. I don't know if you film, but take pictures or whatever. Send me some pictures. I'd love to see it. So I'm gonna hang on for like 5 more minutes, guys. Then we're gonna go. Yeah, I don't think New York's that bad. I don't think that's bad off. It's 4 to 5 hours, I'll probably do it. Like Baltimore has a con. I've heard a con has gone down over the past couple of years, but that's one that's in driving distance to me, 4 to 5 hours away. So I'd probably do that. But I think I heard that the show has really gone down. There's one in Connecticut as well. I forgot the Terrificon. I think it's in Connecticut. That's one I'm going to try to hit this year because that's only like 2.5 hours for me. I'm not a Raiders fan. Howie Long's a Raider. 80 for Wayne Corbett. Yes. My stepson also won 80 when he played junior football. So that was his number as well. That's who he reminds me of when he plays. But any other Marvel, DC comic book question, guys? Like I said, I have tons of stuff for sale. Someone wants to make me an offer on this, they're more than happy to. But other than that, I show you some of the other stuff today that I went through that also may be for sale as well. I may list it. I posted a ton of stuff on Instagram that I'm putting for sale, stuff that I have duplicates of for the most part. I just need to kind of put stuff back in my reserves. So don't be sorry, man. That's a great pick. AF15. Thanks, Nowhere Bound. Join us next time. Hopefully, we may start doing this. Like I've done it for 3 weeks in a row. We may do another one next week. We'll see what I got planned on Sunday. Either way, guys, thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, tomorrow we're doing another eBay sales video, 7 a.m. Eastern. I think Tuesday is going to be the King Kong video, so make sure you check that out. You'll see a lot of the great guys you see on Instagram and YouTube now from the East Coast. They're on this video. And of course, Thursday I break down the hot 10 like I always do. So I think that's it for the show, guys. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go hang out for a little bit, but thank you for joining me for an hour and a half. Dude, nothing. You better freaking email me, man. Like I said, I'm not kidding. The next freaking video I do will be lighting this thing on fire. Okay. Cause that's had it. So thank you everybody for coming out. I appreciate it. This was Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.